Welcome back, learner. In the module 5B lesson on information retrieval system, in previous part of this chapter, we learned about the concept of information retrieval system, understanding about the importance and need of the information retrieval system, component of information retrieval system, searching and indexing language construction, functions of information retrieval system, importance of information retrieval system. Now we will discuss about the subject approach to information. Users often approach information sources with a query that requires an answer, or they seek information or documents on specific topic. This method of seeking information from sources by the users is referred to as subject approach to information. In order to provide this kind of information, it is necessary for information organizations to arrange document or surrogate of document in library catalog, indexes or databases in such a way that item of specific information can be retrieved. There are various methods of providing information contained in documents using subject approach. Two chief methods of the same are alphabetical subject approach, and second one is the display of subject relationship. So, now we will discuss about the alphabetical approach. Here the items of information are first grouped under the subject and then arranged according to the alphabetical order so that specific subjects can be retrieved easily. Some problems to be overcome here are those relevant to synonyms, homograph, signature, or now we will discuss about display of subject approach. Like human beings, the subject to have relationships. These include syntactic relationships and semantic relationships. Syntactic relationships are seen when concepts are drawn together only in a specific context. On the other hand, semantic relationships show aspects of genus-species relationship. The first librarian to consider the detailed arrangement by subject was Melville Davies. Librarian certainly arranged their libraries in classified order. The classified catalog was well known. However, these classified arrangement were in broad subject groups. There was no attempt to give the detailed subject specification that Davies suggested and which was necessary and useful. Davies' classification scheme served two purposes. The first of these was the arrangement of books on shelf, and the second was the arrangement of entries in catalogs and bibliography. The subject approach or subject indexing is the process or techniques of identifying and selecting terms like word, phrase, sentence, taxonomy, categories, notions to indicate what a document is all about. It helps to summarize its content and increases its retrieval by users. In other words, it is about identifying and describing the subject of documents. Its purpose is to facilitate finding a particular information on the basis of its subject content. Now we will discuss subject of subject indexing. Subject analysis to generate concepts that describe the documents, and translate of concepts include controlled vocabulary for retrieval. Now we will discuss about the indexing language. As discussed earlier, when the librarians apply subject approach to information, they are confronted with the difficult task of subject indexing. They have to deal with the complexity, variability, and richness of natural language of document. Using an unlimited or uncontrolled set of words or phrase to index lead to wasted efforts. There is also a high degree of searching failure due to vast range of words chosen by users. It is rightly said that no two words in a language means exactly the same, and there are no true synonyms. But words are often very close in meaning and more often not clearly understood. The inconsistent, varying words could lead to failure in search, as the users may not choose the words or terms that might be used by the indexer or the authors of the document. In order to overcome various complex indexing problems, many forms of controlled vocabularies have been developed. Retrieval of information by subjects from huge mass of documents requires that essential concepts are identified and organized in a searchable format. Indexing is basically a mechanism by which information contained in a document can be organized, but the problems lie when identifying and organizing the concept. In the documentary information, Authors communicate in natural languages which are characterized by linguistic features. To overcome this problem of natural language, the need for an artificial language or indexing language arises. It means that an indexing language is a language used for subject classification or indexing document. An indexing language is defined as the set of terms used in an index to represent topics or features of documents and the rule of combining or using those terms. The purpose of an indexing language is to express the concepts of documents in an artificial language so that users are able to get the required information. The indexing language does this by depicting the relationship among the different related concepts. Now we will discuss various type of indexing languages. We can classify indexing languages in three aspects. First is the natural indexing language, second is the free indexing language, third one is the controlled indexing language. So, the natural indexing language is a type of language where any term from the documents in question can be used to describe the document. In free indexing languages, any term like note only from the document can be used to describe the document. In controlled indexing language, only approved item can be used by the indexer to describe in the document. We will introduce natural, free and controlled indexing languages. In natural indexing languages, natural indexing refers to our languages which we normally use for communication, whereas those languages that we design for a specific purpose or use in a specific sense or only for limited use are artificial languages. Natural indexing language are those natural languages or ordinary language of the documents being indexed. Any term that appears in the document is a candidate for indexing term. In practice, natural language indexing tends to rely upon the terms present in an abstract or the title of a document. Natural language indexing is based upon the full text of a document depending on how it is archived. It may lead to various extensive indexing of each document or will involve establishing some mechanism for deciding which terms are the most important in relation to a particular document. In computerized indexing, this will involve statistical analysis of the relative frequency of occurrence of term. In human indexing, some judgment would be required in selecting the terms. Many of these problems can be minimized by restricting indexing to title and abstracts. Either a computer or a person can execute natural language indexing. In computer indexing, the computer may well use a list of terms deemed to be useful in indexing, for example, a type of thesaurus, to identify appropriate terms. The use of natural language is a very important information retrieval system. Now we will discuss about the type of various natural indexing system. If you will see, the natural language used in indexing has several subdivisions like human indexing, computer aided indexing and no indexing. In human indexing, we can further classify it in assignment and extraction. Apart from that, the no indexing language may be classified further in two parts, its full text and practical test. Now we will discuss about the free indexing language, basically what is the free indexing language and why it is important in the information retrieval system. Basically, free indexing language is not a listed language of term. Free in the sense that there are no constraints on the terms. Indexing, the third point is indexing. Indexing may be conducted by human or computers, and this free indexing language is very dependent upon the skills of an individual indexers. The free indexing language that also contains that any word or terms that suits the subjects may be assigned as an indexing term. Controlled vocabularies usually improve the accuracy of free text searching, reducing irrelevant terms in the retrieval list. Both natural language indexing and to some extent free language indexing are used in producing both printed index and in access to computerized database and data bank. Now we will discuss about the controlled indexing language. The controlled indexing languages are indexing languages in which the terms used to represent subject and the process by which terms are assigned to a particular documents are controlled or executed by a person. Controlled indexing languages are indexing languages in which the terms used to represent subjects and the process by which terms are assigned to a particular documents are controlled or executed by a person, as we have already discussed in previous slide. Normally there is a list of terms which acts as the authority list in identifying the terms that may be assigned to document. And indexing involves a person assigning terms from this list to specific document. Now we will discuss about the type of controlled indexing languages. Basically we have two type of controlled indexing languages. One is the alphabetical indexing language X, and second one is the classification scheme. Control is exercised over which terms are used, but otherwise the terms are ordinary words. In classification schemes, each subject is assigned a piece of notion. The usual objective of assigning notion is to place a subject within context with respect to other subject. Both classification schemes and alphabetical indexing languages are used in a variety of contexts. Both type of device can be found applied in catalog, index, books, periodicals, bibliographies, current awareness bulletin, selective dissemination of information, computerized data bank abstracts and indexing services, encyclopedia, dictionaries and directories. So we can say that all type of information may be used to apply this type of indexing tools. Classification is also prominent in the physical arrangement of document. Normally there is a list of terms, a subject heading list or a thesaurus that acts as the authority list in identifying terms that may be assigned to document. And indexing involves the assignment of terms from this list to specific document. The searcher is expected to consult the same control list during formulation of a search strategy. So it is only approved terms that can be used by the indexer to describe the document. Compared to free text searching, the use of controlled vocabulary increases the performance of an information retrieval system. So learners, now we will discuss what we have learned in this chapter. The term information retrieval was coined by Kelvin Boer in 1952. Information retrieval is the activity of obtaining information resources relevant to an information need from a collection of information resources. The term information retrieval was earlier used to mean retrieval of bibliographical information from stored document database. We have also learned that information storage and retrieval, information organization and retrieval, information processing and retrieval, text retrieval, information representation and retrieval, and information access are different connotations of information retrieval. Learners, we have also learned that a library fulfills its functions of information retrieval by maintaining some system for searching information out of documents from its collection. In modern information retrieval systems deals with storage, organization and access to text as well as multimedia information resources. The major objective of an information retrieval system is to retrieve the information, either the actual information or through the documents contains the information surrogates that fully or partially match the user's query. We have also learned in this chapter that the first librarian to consider the details arranged by the subject was Melville Davies, and the natural indexing languages are not really a separate language but the natural language or ordinary language of the document being indexed. Free index languages are not a listed language of terms which is distinct from the terms used to describe concepts in a subject area. And finally, controlled indexing languages are indexing languages in which both the terms that are used to represent subjects and the process whereby terms are assigned to a particular documents are controlled or executed by a person. Thank you learners for being with us in this chapter. I hope the chapter will be very useful for your study. Good luck to all of you.